So,
Penis.
of course,
There it is.
last time.
Oh, I was waiting for it.
Hey, he found it. Last time, we had picked things up with the aboleth being, blown away by Togar and his thunder cannon. The thing slumped back in the water, and a little brain on 4 legs materialized just outside the body of water that it had been in. Around the same time. Yep.
Quick segue.
Mm-hmm.
Can that be affected by tame animals, or speak with animals, that sort of thing?
It is not an animal, so no.
But it doesn't count as like a beast.
No.
Okay.
I think it's an aberration.
Okay. Follow-up question.
Mm-hmm.
Can I turn into it now that I have seen it?
I think that also requires that it be a beast.
Well, not necessarily beast, but animal. Does that count as an animal?
No.
Some sort of being.
No.
Damn! Okay.
But valid questions. Around the same time that thing materialized along the waterline, you heard a grinding sound of a hidden stone door opening up, from which emerged not 1, not 2, but 3 strange-looking illithids, mind flayers. They wasted very little time in closing on you, disintegrating your short-time companion Glyn before he could even make it out of the water. And as the group retreated back toward the mouth of the cave, the creature that they had fought before, the Oblex, materialized 3 humanoid forms to sort of block the way, working in tandem with these mind flayers. This actual fight, it didn't go as badly as it could have, let's put it that way. Glyn died, yes, and eventually, due to close quarters combat with the intellect devourer, the brain on legs, Maya ended up having her intelligence score reduced to 0 and being put into a coma.
Veggie.
Pretty much. But the rest of the party was sort of talked down and convinced to kind of lay down their arms and accompany the illithid to wherever it was they were about to take them. They were led into a side chamber just off of the large cavern in which the fight with the aboleth had happened. And 3 people in total were bound and chained to an altar of sorts, or a pedestal with sort of an empty thing along the top of it. Everyone else was ushered into a large metal cage in the back of the room. At first, the 3 who were selected for whatever this ritual was about to be were Bungdo, Lilith, and Togar. But after some conspiring among the group, Bungdo was removed and substituted, replaced by an emaciated old man who had been in the cage when your group made their way back to the chamber. Once the people were set in place and the illithid felt pretty confident that they wouldn't be escaping anytime soon, they began a 3-day-long ritual. chanting, reading from various old texts, a number of arcane glyphs sort of being drawn in the air as the ritual was completed. And on the third day, they began to kill the people that they had bound to the pedestal. First, one of them walked up behind the old man who had taken Bungdo's place, producing an old, if I had to comment on it, probably inhumanely dull knife, and slit the guy's throat. At about this time, the other two of you who were bound to the pedestal began, well, especially Lilith, began fighting, as she seemed to be the next one to be sacrificed. She managed to fight her way out, getting free of her binds even, running for the pile of items that had been confiscated from the group, and began fighting one of these things one-on-one. Around the same time, Togar used a smuggled lockpick to free himself, and in the midst of the commotion made a break for the cage in the back. As he attempted to unlock the door, and then presumably thereafter spring Bungdo from the manacles that had suppressed his magical abilities as well as those of anyone that they had been on. He was disintegrated in a rapid response by one of the other Illithids. As Lilith lost her one-on-one fight, she was dragged back over while the silvery wisp of Togar's soul was sort of rising up and being drawn into this item that they had placed on the pedestal that had now seemingly devoured, or at least contained, the two souls of those who had been bound to it for 3 days. Lilith, unconscious, was dragged back and killed herself. I mean, she too was killed. But as the physical manifestation of the soul rose up from her body, it wasn't a wispy, silvery cloud so much as an angry, black, swirling mass of something that seemed to fight every inch as it was drawn in toward this thing on the pedestal. But eventually it did make it all the way over there, and with some severe resistance visible even to the last second, it eventually was sucked in. Then the room went quiet for just a split second before this large combination of a couple of large gemstones into which they had been siphoning these souls detonated. And as the shards of splintered amethyst and emerald shot out in all different directions, they visibly transformed into black feathers that sort of coasted, floated down to the ground, not harming anyone. But as that happened, Bungdo and Chance, though he's not here, watched as the three undead Illithids, these Alhoons in the room, began to turn to dust themselves. whatever magic that held them here and kept them alive seemingly broken. And that is where we pick things up, with Bungdo now having been sprung from his magic-suppressing manacles.
And what exactly was it that broke?
It was this thing that was sitting up on top of the pedestal that the people were chained to for 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Basically a fist-sized item, for lack of a better term, it's very vague, made of amethyst and emerald, kind of bound together by silver.
Indeed. Okay. Thank you.
So, the door. Actually, the door isn't open yet, but Chance is on the outside. And the threat has been, best you can tell, neutralized.
Anything in the room I can loot?
Well, first things first. Now that Chance is outside the cage and you're kind of still locked in it, you do have him polymorphed into a beetle. Would you like to undo that and perhaps have him let you out?
Is the vegetable also in the room with me, or is the cage in a different room?
So this is all one room, and the cage is in the back of it. And so it's
Okay.
you and Maya in the cage right now.
I go back and heal Maya.
Okay. She's stable. She's healthy and stuff. She would need a pretty sizable restoration type spell.
What I meant is, sorry, when I said heal, I meant cast Greater Restoration.
Okay.
Wait, do I have Greater?
Do you?
I think I just have Lesser.
Yeah. So
I have Mass Cure Wounds. I think I kept Lesser Restoration. Do I need Greater for that?
you need greater for that.
Okay, well, we can take
I mean,
a
you
long rest?
Yeah, as I say, you can change yours with a long rest. So
Okay.
Yeah. Does it seem like this is a safe place to take a long rest?
So one one thing worth noting is around the corner there was what looked like and I should have pointed this out, but I don't think Bungdo is actually one who's seen this, so I don't know. I'll mention it anyway. Because if you look around and you're trying to evaluate whether this is a safe place for a short rest or a long rest, you do find a large mass of ooze kind of hidden away.
Yeah, no, ooze is a turnoff. Bungdo doesn't like ooze. Let's get the fuck out. I take the vegetable. Okay. Am I able to get out without turning him back into a thing?
Eventually, sure. Like, it's not a super time-sensitive thing, so, you know, sure.
How are you carrying me?
Over my shoulder.
Maya's gonna have some really torn up knees by
Look, he's doing his best, okay? I'm doing what I can with what I've got.
I mean, there is a taller person here.
I turn Chance back into a chance.
All right. And yeah, so, you know, whether it's you or whether it's him, you're able to get out of the cage and he can pick up Maya. What was your question?
How many heals did you cast on my Bungdo sheet? Or did you cast any? I just need to know how many slots I have right now.
Let me take a quick peek and make sure. Bungdo was more in offensive mode for that fight. Because really the party didn't take a whole lot of actual damage.
Was he just
frickin' surrendered?
Why the fuck did we surrender?
You're surrendered first.
Okay, well, I wasn't in control of the situation. I, personally, being the true Bungdo at heart, would have just conjured a shitload of woodland beings and then cast blight on everything.
You did cast Blight on a couple things, so
Yeah.
there was that.
But
Good.
no woodland beings.
Yeah,
What
no,
are
no,
woodland
no woodland
beings?
beings.
Sure. Whatever this is. Cool.
Okay. I think, yeah, what you see now on your spell sheet is what you have.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Whoa. Oh, okay, cool. That means I can conjure birds. Oh, I don't want any fucking holly berries. Alright, you little fucking reindeer assholes.
Well, you have a focus. You have your staff, I think. So, that's fine. You can use that instead of the material components as long as they're not, like pricey consumed things.
They're fucking berries.
Yeah, so you're good.
So they're not.
Well, I mean, to be fair, berries might be expensive. Like blackberries, that shit costs money.
Doesn't cost as much money here.
That's fair. California's an asshole. Anywho, I suppose I'm just gonna heal myself. 'Cause I'm at like 50, and I don't want to be at 50.
That's
So
fair.
at 50? Gosh, I wish I was at 50.
Good.
Same
I'm
here.
just kidding. You got
I
turned into a
can't-
vegetable.
I could heal
I'm-
myself if I wasn't a
working
vegetable.
on it. I just want to make you not
I
a
mean-
vegetable, but I don't have great restoration.
I would take a healing potion if I wasn't dust.
We're cast at level 2 as well.
So like, how is Bungdo reacting to this whole situation? I'm kind of curious.
What do you mean?
You
He's
know,
having PTSD.
yeah, your buddy got vaporized in front of you, another throat slit, and Maya's a vegetable.
Okay, so the vegetable in Bungdo's eyes is really just how any non-rock gnome is. And as for the disintegrated guy, it's Bungdo. It's what he does. So it's he's a little upset that it's Togar, but he's just he knows how to resurrect people. He'll just go get it taken care of.
Okay.
Somehow. I'm not really sure how yet, but Bungdo will
Mhm.
figure it out. He's the gnome father.
Mhm.
As for the throat being slit, which one was that again? The old
That
guy?
would have been Lilith.
Lilith. Yeah, Bungdo didn't really know her.
All right.
Wow.
Hey, Bungdo's been through some shit, man.
I guess.
There was the gnome war. He's a fucking veteran of burning forest gnomes alive. They're scum.
All right.
Wood is
I'm
meant
not
to
a
be
forest
burned.
gnome.
Yeah, but you're not dead either.
So, worth noting,
You're just like sleeping for a little bit longer.
really long sleep. Worth noting that all of Togar's magical possessions are still intact amidst the pile of ash and dust. I'll assume that between you and Chance, you're able to pick them up, and it's not really a big thing.
By the way, Bungdo is super sad about Togar dying, but he's putting on a mask to be brave for Chance
Okay.
and the vegetable.
The vegetable. Okay.
No, like from now on, Bungdo is calling you Veggie.
My face. You can imagine what it looks like.
Doesn't matter because you're a vegetable, and vegetables don't have faces.
Vegetables can have faces.
Hey,
Yeah,
Bungdo,
well, there's silly vegetable faces.
you get your alchemy jug back.
The one with the beer?
Yeah.
And the mayo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so excited. All right.
Are you suddenly not as sad at Togar's passing?
I'm extremely less sad about the fact that it happened. However, I'm still disappointed it's him. Either way, I can just drink my problems away. Then alchemy jug.
So anything
So-
non-magical is gone, right?
Correct.
Ooh.
Our gemstone's
Oh.
gone.
Gemstones are gone.
All right. Lovely. Are potions magical?
So here's the thing about potions. They are, but guess what's not magical?
The glass.
glass.
Bottle.
Yep.
All right. So there's
Well, I'm enchanting my glasses from now on.
there's potion of greater healing gone. Potion of healing gone.
Ooh.
500 gold worth of gems gone.
I'm
Naga
pretty
Fang
sure
gone.
you can still
Kyler.
lick up the greater healing potion.
My hand axe is gone too, right?
Yeah.
All right. Symbol necromancy's gone. That's
So
gone.
his belt isn't gone, right?
His belt is still there.
I take the belt.
Okay.
I take all the magical stuff, to be honest.
Yeah, I figured between you and Chance, like you would see what's still there, and you'd
Is
realize
it possible
probably.
to have done it before undoing Chance? I didn't realize that this stuff was still there.
Yeah, you would have noticed that. and
Also, it's not
eventually,
like he can really say no.
yeah.
He's a beetle.
Yeah. So yeah, you're good.
Cool.
Literally,
Yeah, that's it. So we leave.
Literally, all that was laying there was the ornate dagger, my dagger +1, and the belt. That was it.
I mean, that's a lot. That's like an enchanted dagger and an enchanted belt.
2 enchanted daggers, technically.
Even better. So this ooze, by the way, what exactly is it?
Ooze.
It looks like a big bubbling mass of like a reddish black ooze, and every once in a while, just kind of breaking the outside of it, you can see what looks like maybe a bit of bone here, a skull there. Yeah, doesn't look pleasant.
On a scale of ice to gasoline, does it look flammable?
Average.
Or are there any isolated like pieces of ooze that I can roast?
So to paint you the full picture here, you see that central mass, and then extending out from it in a few different directions toward cracks in the stone are little like inch wide tendrils of ooze that seem to burrow through whatever imperfections there are in the cave and possibly puppeteer the humanoid things that you've seen appear and disappear elsewhere.
I cast Produce Flame.
Okay.
Let me get to my car. It's obviously been a bit since I played.
Yep, no, that's fine.
What? I rolled at disadvantage and still got that.
Well, pretty sure you hit. Let's see here. Okay,
That's
so
what he wanted.
so you do that, and you throw your little fireball at this thing, and Mouse, what are you doing?
What's our dog doing?
We have a dog?
When did you get a mouse?
No, my mouse, like my computer mouse, is just like cycling random ass colors.
Oh.
Anyway. Okay. So you throw your little fireball at the thing, and you watch as part of it like bubbles and kind of like blackens, dries out, crumbles away, and it starts to shudder. And you watch the tendrils that are currently like extended into the stone begin to quickly pull themselves out.
Okay, as that happens, I want to ready Produce Flame again and then just like go over all the places the tendrils are coming out and like burn them.
Okay.
As many as I can before they like pull in, obviously.
He's
Okay.
flamethrowing, like boss flamethrower.
Yeah. So go ahead and give me like 3 attack rolls.
Swat, 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 swat. Fuck this thing.
All right. Yeah. So that is like just enough to like as the last little tendril is kind of withdrawing from the crack in the cave wall, and you can see a few more like beginning to sort of form, and in the very early stages of like reaching out towards you, the thing starts to just bubble and jiggle, and with the impact of your last little fireball, it you watch like a gaping hole just appear down the middle, and it kind of struggles to re-adhere to itself, but it can't, and so it just sort of collapses into this now still puddle of
I continue
goo
burning.
and bones. Okay. And you do
But
that
also
for
look for
Mhm.
things as I burn it. I assume sometimes oozes have shit in them, and I would like to see. Well, if I see something shiny, I'm gonna stop burning that specific area, but keep burning the rest. Like we wanna kill it. Burn it with fire. I
Okay.
hate oozes.
Yeah, you burn the shit out of it. And yeah, I don't think you find anything other than like bits of human remains that have been like picked clean in their
Are
time.
there any full bones, like a skull or anything?
Yeah, you'd find probably a couple skulls in there, a couple what look like probably femurs or something to that effect.
We don't have prestidigitate anymore, do we?
Well, Lilith had it.
And we don't have a Lilith.
Yep.
Okay, I'm just gonna char the skulls and then attach them to my staff with string.
Okay. And so you do that.
Dope.
All right.
Like a fucking voodoo shaman now. I love it.
Yeah. So satisfied that that thing is sufficiently annihilated, and I think at this point Chance is probably just looking on like, dude, what the fuck?
Is he still a beetle?
Well, at some point he
No.
got unbeetled to pick up Maya, I think.
He got
We're
unbeetled
not
directly
going
before we
anywhere,
burnt
so-
the ooze.
Okay.
Yeah, but you know, a beetle takes less damage than a chance, and less damage taken by someone else is more damage taken by Bungdo, which in turn relates to a closer to death Bungdo and or possibly dead Bungdo, which Bungdo does not like. It's not okay for Bungdo and should therefore be avoided at all costs, even at the cost of having a chance.
All right. So that's done. Bungdo has cool skulls hanging off of his staff. And
Charred skulls of doom!
yeah. So what's the plan? Head back above ground?
Do I see anything in the room that looks like a chest or like a table with books or anything?
There is a whole shelf of books stashed in like the opposite corner from where the cage has been sitting for these past 3 days.
Has that been in Bungdo's view for 3 days?
Yeah.
Is it plausible that Bungdo would have like been able to see the titles on the books and like recognize books from that distance, or was it too far away?
I think with the time that you had and the lack of to do, it's feasible. Like it was maybe 30 feet away. So
Does it look like there were any books on enchanting there and or ancient relics?
yes, there were definitely enchanting books. There were definitely a lot of books that just in general deal with old dark magic.
Ooh. I would like to take any enchanting books I can, and then 1 or 2 beginner dark magic books.
Okay.
If there's
Dark magic for dummies.
precisely like if there's
So
like
you want to be a
fan-
necromancer?
Look, I'm not saying I want to be a necromancer. I'm just saying that
More knowledge is
when
good
the
knowledge.
world runs out of forest gnomes, I'm gonna have to make more to kill.
Resurrect forest gnome, kill it. Resurrect forest gnome, kill it.
It'd be like a game.
1,000 ways to die. Forest gnome edition.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah, you find books that suit your interests for sure.
Cool. Okay. Are we going to like make this a finite defined amount, or can we just like assume that I can learn enchanting a little bit now? Like what's the balance between that?
I think it'll take some time for you to like go through everything, but yeah, we can say that that's something that you kind of have going on. It's like, it's probably not something that you necessarily need to call out. I'll just assume like if you have downtime and you're not doing anything else with it, you're probably studying.
Yeah, that's the main hope, is that I can use downtime to actually be doing something productive now versus
Yeah. Yep.
making baubles and
For sure.
smoking black grass. He's still gonna smoke black grass though.
Black grass and black magic.
What if I enchanted a crate so it could be either very small or very big, and then I could have like a crate on my necklace for hotboxing? It'll be a gnome box, and then I can sell it.
That would actually be pretty cool. A portable gnome box.
Like,
Dude, you could
there's
like
so
you
many
could put a little
uses.
bed in it and sell it as like
Okay,
like Bundo's House of Fun or something.
I have a quick caveat now.
Sorry.
I don't want to like pull away from the session, but I do have a question, and I'm curious as to your guys' thoughts on it. Is that okay, Eric, or do you want to keep going?
It's fine. I mean, this is kind of a less structured kind of session anyway.
Yeah, I'll make it quick then. So, if you have the power to enchant things in like a setting, like a fantastical setting, why would people not just learn efficient ways to enchant boxes to shrink them and all the contents inside? It would take a while, but once you started like making them, they exist, and then that would just do wonders for shipping.
It's like bags of holding, though.
Yeah, but they don't use bags of holding for like mass scale shipping. It's like a personal thing. That'd be super interesting.
Bags
Hold up a
of holding
second.
can hold quite a bit, though. I mean, in this day and age, no, they couldn't hold shit. It's 500 pounds. But, I mean, like your average person, a bag of holding would be all you fucking need.
It's difficult to mass produce and costs too much.
There's that. But yeah.
Yeah, I do see what your point is, though.
All right. So yeah, I guess let's keep going. So yeah, you find your books.
Cool. Sorry, I'm back. My roommate was heading out.
I didn't hear you left. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I mentioned.
I thought we just had like an awkward silence or something.
I might have accidentally muted it before I said that. Then shit. Either way, yeah.
Okay. Cool. And so I think the one other thing that we should probably discuss is the fact that like I'll assume everybody has their own stuff. They get it back or whatever. But Lilith, all of her stuff is still here. And so
Bungo has room.
yeah, let's see if there's anything like especially interesting, right? There is a healing potion. One regular potion of healing.
Would that like only restore hit points, or would it like heal?
It's hit points, yeah. And then there's a good bit of money here. So
Bungdo has space.
okay, so you ready to take down some numbers?
Oh dear God! Yes, hold up.
Okay.
All right.
54 platinum. 195 gold.
Okay.
21 silver. 3 copper. That's it.
Okay.
Among her stuff, she also has leather armor, a light crossbow, a couple daggers, 20 bolts. You're just picking everything up?
Fuck yeah! Like that shit
right.
sells.
No, that's true.
And if we happen to like find a stranger, we can hire them as a merchant guard, and now I can equip them
There you go.
for Bungdo's business.
Yep. Her arcane focus,
Which is
an emblem of a raven.
Okay.
1 Dungeoneer's pack. 1 bottle of ink. 1 quill. 1 small knife. And 1 belt pouch.
I'm assuming the coins are probably in the belt pouch.
Presumably.
All right. I think we can probably split this if you want anything, Maya. But obviously, we have to wait until you're not a vegetable. And I'm actually saying this, by the way. This is Bungdo talking. Just in case she can hear whilst being a vegetable and remember it when she's not.
Okay.
Is there anything else that we see?
No, I mean the Illithids turn to dust. So much like Togar, they are just little piles of dust on the ground, and you don't see any lingering items with them. So everything on them seems to have been disintegrated.
I pour out the ink and clean it off with a piece of cloth, and then I fill it with Illithid dust.
Okay.
Don't
Yeah.
take the ashes of your dead friend.
Nope.
Well,
I literally flipped Phil off through Discord.
Well, I mean, Illithid dust might sell for something. That's just, cement. What's that word? Where you care about an item.
Sentimental value.
Sentimental. I fucking forgot.
Phil doesn't have sentimental value for anything, so
He's just
No, not true. I forget what it was, but Bungdo is very sad about it being destroyed.
Had not any of my stuff been destroyed, you would have had like 30-something vials that you could have just put me in.
Yeah, exactly.
But
I had to make the
it's all
smart
gone.
choice. See, that's the thing, is your ashes would not have made me money. And if I don't have money, I can't hire someone to resurrect.
You do have a belt pouch.
You do, yeah.
Well, you have 2 belt pouches now.
That's fair, and so I take the ashes of my dead friend.
Oh, okay.
And with the ink, if I can retcon this before I dump it out, I draw a smiley face on the bag.
Okay.
And in rough, childish writing, I put Togar.
All right. Okay, so I think that exhausts just about everything that can be done in this room. And so, is there anything between here and above ground that you want to do? Tracing your way back through the caverns and the sewers.
Yeah, let's get the fuck out.
Okay. The fuck out you get. And
Okay.
so after like probably an hour or so, you, Chance, and an unconscious Maya emerge from
Well,
the
not
scene.
unconscious vegetable.
I mean, she's
Coma.
not conscious. She's
Yeah.
not conscious.
Vegetable.
Comatose.
Veggie.
You all emerge from the sewers back to street level in the town of Helmfirth. What do you do now?
I find an inn.
Okay. The nice one or the not so nice one?
You know what? For the sake of our less than okay companions, we'll go to the nice one.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll get a room with the nice one. I'll put Maya on the bed, and then Bunga's gonna sit in the corner. He turns Chance into a beetle, puts him in a jar so he can't cause any damage. I poke holes so he can breathe, and then I sleep.
Okay, quick timeout on that one.
I'm amenable to other options, but that's what I want to do.
Let's see how Chance does at resisting the whole being turned back into a beetle thing. What kind of save is that?
I'd like to bludgeon him first, so he can't.
Why?
He was a beetle. He didn't help. I guess. Look, he's a rogue. You never know what he might do. He might go through stuff, steal my gold, kill people in their sleep.
It's true, but if you're gonna cast a spell on him, he still has to make a save against it. So,
Alright, let me polymorph.
Okay. Unwilling creature must make a wisdom save. And what is your DC?
My DC is 17.
Oh boy. All right. Nope.
He's a dung beetle.
So I'm picturing like Chance walks
I'm
in
gentle with him.
and like lays Maya down on the bed, props the head up on the pillow, turns around, and Bungo's already in the midst of casting a spell. And then just he's a beetle.
You do realize that spell only lasts an hour, and when he turns back, he's gonna smash that jar to bits.
Can I like? It's concentration too, so I don't think I can sleep.
Yeah, probably not.
All right. Well, can I bludgeon him?
He's a beetle?
No. Okay. If he's knocked out as a beetle, he's gonna be knocked out when he grows too.
Okay, so what happens is whatever damage from your bludgeoning surpasses his HP as a beetle gets done to him. And then he's probably still awake because I don't think you're going to hit him for 58 hit points.
Blight,
Whoa,
max
Jesus!
level.
I don't want to kill him. I just want to knock him out.
Well, you got to get him to 0 for him to be unconscious.
Blight might do it. Well,
Would you
I'm
like
not
to blight your friend?
No.
Why not? You've already done it to one.
Well, yeah, you fucking deserved it. He doesn't deserve to be blighted. I mean, the beetle, it's not going to hurt him. He needs new perspective on life for a bit. All right, I undo polymorph and tell him to go sleep or whatever.
He's decidedly not too happy about the events of the last few minutes. And kind of just storms off. And I don't know, does Chance things for the rest of the night.
Okay, I lock the door and go to sleep.
Okay. You have a nice long rest. And the next
And
day
I
is upon
cast-
you.
I cast Greater Resurrection.
Is upon you.
I cast Greater Restoration.
Okay.
I actually need to switch that though from Mass Cure Wounds to Greater Restoration. Actually,
All right.
just add that.
So yeah, you're good though?
Yeah.
Okay. So you cast Greater Restoration, drawing upon the powers of nature itself to right what has been made wrong with Maya. And Maya, you go from wide awake in the middle of a fight with mind flayers and a brain on legs to on your back in a nice, comfy bed. And you look around the room and you're pretty sure you're back at the Baron's horse. And you see Bungdo standing over you.
I'm decidedly confused. And I look at Bungdo.
I explain everything from the past, since she turned into a vegetable.
Yeah, so like
But-
3.5 days.
Before I explain it, and I see her confused face, I say, "Morning, veggie," and then I explain.
I'm gonna ask if I can have Lilith's spellcasting focus.
I shuffle around in my bag and give it to her. Do I still have that statue from whatever Brown's older character was?
Trogdor?
Yeah.
I think so.
Alright, cool.
Yeah, I don't think you would have done anything with it to get rid of it, so yeah, you still have it.
Okay.
Wait, you're talking about the one you made for him?
Mhm.
No, that was given to the dragon, Norgnoth or whatever. I don't remember what the fuck his name was. The Defender of the
Norganoth?
Skies.
Yeah.
Was it Norganoth? No.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so it was given to him to take to the temple or whatever to exonerate.
Was the statue part of that though? 'Cause,
Yes, I
I
explicitly
okay.
gave him the statue, and I said
Okay.
this was given to him by a great druid, and it was a great treasure of his.
Okay.
Okay,
So-
cool.
So yes, it has been interred as, his part of his little shrine or whatever.
Gotcha. All right. So yeah, that's the thing. Maya, you have one of the I don't know, one of the last items of Lilith's.
I think first I'm gonna get some food and water.
Okay. So yeah, I mean we'll say that is easy enough to do.
So I don't die.
Yeah. You do wake up and you're pretty hungry. Like probably the hungriest you've been. But yeah. A good meal, maybe a good drink. And I mean you're not feeling 100% per se, but you've definitely been worse. So after all of that, kind of taking care of physical needs, What's the plan?
I'm gonna turn to Bungdo, say I need some time alone. I'm gonna rent out a room there for myself and buy a bottle of rum and go to my room.
Does she have the starfruit or do I?
Starfruit is in the bag of holding, which I have.
Well, there are multiple bags of holding.
I have a bag of holding with starfruit.
Okay. Bungdo would like to take a few starfruit and also roast one for her.
I mean, I'll give you starfruit.
Well, I give you a cooked starfruit. And then I go find something to do in the city.
Okay. So, anything in particular that Bungdo would like to get into over, however long this is while everybody's kind of dealing.
What is Lilith a symbol of? Or, I mean, obviously it's of a raving, but like, what does it look like and how small is it and what's it made out of?
So it would
Sorry
have
for all the
been.
questions.
Yeah, no, it's fine. So it's like it's a darker metal, probably about the size of, like the palm of your hand, and it's shaped like, a raven with its wings outspread, head tilted to one side, sort of oriented like vertically so as to kind of be able to see everything from a front-facing view. It's one of those things that can be kind of worn around the neck or possibly tied to like a belt loop or something. Let's see. Was there anything? Was there a question in there that I didn't answer?
It's made out of metal then, yes. I mean, you said it's made out of metal, but like...
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. I go to a blacksmith shop and I find like metal and flux. I need to get like a little bit of metal and flux and clay.
Okay.
And then I ask to use the blacksmith's facilities.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of an odd request, but with materials and stuff, I mean, if you can, like, I'd say for like a gold, you could have the facilities and the materials.
Perfect. All right. I mount the raven symbol on one of the skulls.
Well, didn't you just give the holy symbol to
Was the raven
Maya?
symbol the focus?
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it. You said there was a focus, and then you said there was the emblem of a raven.
I said the emblem of the raven was the focus.
God damn it. All right. Well,
I thought you were gonna like try to make another one or something. I was wondering where that's going.
never mind on that entire segue. I go to the bar and get a drink, and then I find a spice shop.
Okay.
Or try and find a spice shop.
All right.
I'd also like to go to the butcher's.
Got it.
Any sort of market, really.
All right.
I'm going to cook today.
Gotcha. So you get yourself maybe a drink or two, head out, go shopping, and I think while you're out shopping, you hear a familiar voice in your head, that of Blackwell, and he says, "Can you hear me? I've been trying to reach others in your party for some time now."
I think yes. I think the word yes. In the Bungdo voice.
Okay. And soon thereafter, you get another message saying, "You survived then?"
Define survive. Like, I survived, but not everyone survived. The Raven Lady and the dwarf died.
And the
Yeah, and that guy. Fuck that guy.
All right. He says, meet me at the Baron's horse tonight.
That's the rich one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
All right. And so you go about your shopping. And anything in particular that you want to cook for the rest of the day before your meeting with Blackwell?
Just beef.
Just beef. Okay.
Beef with spices and vegetables.
Okay.
And then I would like to see about resurrecting people. I go to like a library.
Okay.
Read people.
All right. So you don't even need to make a roll for this because of your sage background.
Yeah.
Basically, what you turn up in your fact finding is, there are varying levels of resurrection type magic. And unfortunately, what you're going to need in this situation, if you're trying to bring back Togar, is some upper echelon stuff. Like top tier resurrection magic or a wish spell. Both of which have their drawbacks. The true resurrection spell is extremely costly and extremely difficult to execute properly.
How much
to the
is it?
point that let's see. I want to say it's something like 5,000 gold.
Wait, really?
Let's see.
If it's just 5,000 gold, that's not that much.
Well, okay, but there's more. Like you got to find somebody who can cast it.
Pfft, easy peasy. I'm a druid. I know a lot of other druids.
Uh-huh. All right, let's see. Oh no, it's not 5, it's 25.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I wasn't going to
Yeah.
say anything in case I was wrong. And then
Yeah, no.
it's
My
5,000.
mistake on that.
More difficult?
Yeah, more difficult. And also it's a 9th level spell, which is like, pushing the fringes of what any mortal has ever been known to learn how to do.
I mean, I can do it.
Yeah, so there are some difficulties to overcome here. But it is possible. There are confirmed cases of such resurrection spells working, and their targets going on to live out the remainder of what would constitute a natural life, healthy and free of any ill effects.
Okay. Well, I'd best get on that then.
On the bright side, you do also learn that such magic can resurrect somebody who's been dead for up to 200 years.
Well, if it takes me 200 years to do it, I'm doing something wrong.
A fair point. And also, there's the potential shortcut of finding something that can grant you a wish. However, you'd have to be pretty specific about that wish.
I mean, I'm sure if I played it right, I could turn this like entire quest into Bungdo just trading up like a paperclip to a wish spell.
This is that one quest line from every Zelda game where you start with garbage and end up with the greatest weapon in the game. That's what you're saying.
Exactly.
I mean, I heard a story that some youth group played that, and some guy ended up starting with a penny and ending up with a piano
All right.
in a couple hours. That's pretty impressive.
That is amazing.
But yeah, so you could do the expensive fringe of mortal understanding thing, or you could do the find something that can grant you a wish, but run the risk of toying with the fabric of reality itself.
I could find a druid.
I'm really
Yeah, I mean-
surprised Bundo's not going for the wish.
What?
You cut out at the end of that.
Oh. I said I'm really surprised Bundo's not going for the wish.
You cut out at the end of that again.
What? How am I cutting out?
Get good.
The wish. I'm surprised Bundo hasn't taken the wish yet.
Got it.
What wish?
Well, gone for the wish. Like,
No.
decided that's what I'm going to do, and struck out to find something that can grant him a wish. But yeah. So, okay. Having gathered that information and cooked up your food, it's probably nearing the time that you'd probably want to meet with Blackwell. In the meantime, over this kind of first day back for Maya, has there been anything besides sitting in a hotel room and drinking?
I'm reminiscing.
Okay. And so you reminisce.
And drink.
Yep. All right. So night comes around. The meeting with Blackwell is upon you, Bungdo, and I suppose you could choose whether or not you want Chance there, or whether you want to invite Maya or not as well.
I bring it up to them.
Okay.
I will come along.
All right. I think Chance is he's willing to attend. Probably going to do Chance stuff and just kind of hang in the background like he normally does. But yeah. So the three of you head down to the bar, and you probably aren't waiting more than 10 minutes before strolling in the door with his sort of imperious demeanor. You see the unmistakable form of Lord Innes Blackwell, wearing a heavy traveling cloak and walking in with purpose. And he sees you, walks over, and immediately has a seat with you at the table. And he looks at those of you who are there and says, "So it's true. The others are gone."
Yep.
That's unfortunate.
Indeed. What did you need to talk about?
He says, for what it's worth, I apologize for what role I inadvertently played in this. And if there's anything within my power to do, you need only let me know.
I mentioned the resurrection stuff, and if there's anything he can help me find, or if we happen to find a druid, if he could cover the 25,000 gold, he could do that.
He hears your request, and I think he says, I believe I could arrange for at least most of that to be covered.
Anything helps.
Of course. As far as the one to actually cast this magic, some druid, you say? Do you have anyone in mind, or are you going to just wander out into the woods and hope for the best?
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
I must say I admire your commitment to your friends and their well-being. The other matter of business that brings me here, rather than simply maintaining a long-distance communication, is it has come to my attention that someone has showed up at your new place of business in Drake's Landing. I didn't think it was necessary to pass on this information, as I had assumed that you would all be back above ground and probably returning home within a day or so. But the situation being what it is, I think it might be best if I brought the lot of you back to Drake's Landing, and, well, perhaps you took some time for yourselves, met with this person. She seems familiar with you. I didn't get all of the specifics I would have liked from my people in Drake's Landing. Some of them, believe it or not, aren't the brightest, but...
You had me at she. Let's go. Then Bungdo hikes up his the robe a little bit, not too much, just a little bit, and then pulls up his sleeves and gets ready to go.
All right.
Did Maya and Chance come with us, or me?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're all seated around the table. And yeah, assuming you guys can round up your stuff and whatever, Blackwell is ready to take you to Drake's Landing if that's something that you're ready for. So cool.
We could go get the rest of our stuff if anyone left anything. Bungo usually has it.
Yep. So everybody rounds up their stuff, and as soon as you're ready, Blackwell's ready. And as you've done so many times before, you are transported. This time he actually has to find a clear area to trace out some arcane symbols and whatnot along the ground, but functionally it all kind of works out the same. You emerge in the same kind of basement room that you had warped to last time you went to Drake's Landing. And after a 15-20 minute walk away from the building you emerge in, you return to your recently acquired property. And allowing yourselves in, you walk into the kind of awkward sight of the two hired goons that you had watching the place, kind of half paying attention to a heavily armored, stout figure perched on one of the bar stools with her back to the door.
Does it seem like this is the person I'm supposed to talk to?
Well, as you make your way inside, that person kind of slowly turns around, and you see, sitting in your bar, Tormilla Snowhand.
Okay. That's the dwarf lady, right?
That is the dwarf lady.
Perfect. I say hello.
What does Tormilla say?
I'll say, where's Togar?
I pull off the bag of ashes. I pull off the bag of ashes and I just kind of jiggle it, smiley face forward.
I will rush off the bar stool, run over and grab Bungdo and like slam him against the wall and say, "What did you do?"
Fuck.
Dude, okay, hold on. To be fair, it's a valid question.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't do anything. It was just a bird. He got disintegrated by a beast.
What? And I'll set him down.
I repeat it exactly like that, but with less fervor.
Tell me the whole story, because... Oh, man.
Okay. But can we get a beer first?
Yes! Yes!
Bungdo
I'm
hops
gonna
off
need one.
the being beaten up against the wall and goes to get beer. And then I guess gets a table and such.
Okay.
As Bungdo runs by, I'll look over at Maya and give like the, "What the fuck?" You know, like, not to Maya, but like, what the fuck happened?
Maya just slowly shakes her head, sadly.
Alright.
Wait. Came across creatures hiding that were too much for us.
Alright, well, let's go grab a drink. So,
And then I guess when we sit down, I explain everything that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the rum? Oh, it's gone.
Because Maya, that's why.
so towards, I guess, as he's telling me about the looking for somebody to resurrect, do I know of anybody back at shit? Why am I'm brain dead right now?
In Thogladar?
Yes, in Thugladar at the temple that would be at least know somebody that could do it, or do I know somebody there that could do it?
You definitely don't know somebody there who could do it.
Okay.
This is pretty advanced stuff. Like, you this is to the level where you pretty much need like a direct line to your deity if you're using divine magic to do this kind of thing.
Gotcha.
So this is like maybe some of the saints of your religion could have done this,
Okay.
but certainly not not an everyday occurrence.
Well, right. I'm just saying, like, there's nobody alive that is like the head of, like, the Pope of my religion, kind of thing. Somebody who's alive that is, revered to that level.
I don't think you have direct knowledge of anyone at that level. It's probably like, okay, so here's the thing with the Dwarven city-states, right? They're pretty self-contained. And so, you worship a lot of the same gods and stuff, but unless that person lived within the confines of Thogladar, barring, stories of miracles happening, making their way all the way back to your little pile of rocks.
Yeah, even that. Any of that that went around?
Let's see. Trying to think of means by which this could happen. So, I don't think you would have heard anything about this in your religious circles, no.
Okay. All right. I'll say, well, I don't know of anybody that could do that, but... Well, if you're going to resurrect him, I'm going with you.
All right. It's fine by me. And, I guess, is that like it?
Well, I'm guessing there's more drinks had, but
A couple
Of course.
couple questions for you.
yeah, of course.
I would have fairly regularly visited Togar's parents for beer. Dude, free beer. Like, free beer to a dwarf is open season, dude.
It's sacred.
So I would have, probably grabbed a little bit of their beer to take with me. to try to
Mhm.
meet with them. So I'll actually pull out a couple jars of the beer. Um,
Okay.
how do I know how their business has been going? Like, I would assume I would have seen it, whether they're enjoying the business, whether they're actually selling, selling beer.
So I mean, it's still in the early stages. Like, it's not profitable yet,
Yeah.
but things are they're moving forward.
Okay.
It's not really like clear. It's not an overnight success, but it's it's certainly possible that this could be a viable business venture. Given time and resources that are kind of currently being put into it, but haven't really shown fruit yet.
Okay. So it hasn't caught on quite yet.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll pass it over and I'll say this is what Togar's parents have been working on. This is what Togar set up, and I'll pull it out for myself and open it up and take a drink.
Curious, can we not go to Thogladar until we resurrect him?
We're not going anywhere near Thogladar until we resurrect him. That would
Perfect.
his mother would not. She wouldn't survive it. We'd have to have another resurrection spell, and that's
More difficult?
yes. So let's just keep it to the one, and yes, I will not.
Perfect.
I will not say anything if you guys don't. And I look at all of them each individually.
I shake my head no.
Okay.
As in, like, no, you're going to tell them?
As in, no, I will not tell them.
Okay, perfect.
Bungdo?
Well, I'm not telling them. I don't want to go there. I don't have to say that.
Okay.
'Cause I'm the one who's going to have to tell them.
Of course you will. So, and I assume Chance also agrees.
Yeah, he's again kind of like lingering, outside of the group,
I'm
keeping
keeping
to
my
himself.
eye on him, though.
Yeah, that's
I've
fair.
heard about him.
Sneaky motherfucker.
Yeah, I've heard he's a sneaky motherfucker. But yes. All right. Well, what do you know? What do we have? What do we have to work off of? Anything?
Well, we have the monetary side supplied.
Yeah.
For the most part, yeah. So, do we know what we need for the resurrection druid spell?
25k. Oh, the druid one?
Well, it's just true resurrection. It can be used by multiple people. Sprinkle of holy water and diamonds worth at least 25,000 gold.
Yeah.
So we A, have to get diamonds, and then B, holy water. But I mean, I'm pretty sure holy water is pretty easy to get.
Yeah, that's pretty easy.
You just gotta find somebody who can cast it. That's the big thing.
Well, it
Mhm.
requires 9th level necromancy,
What?
and I'm working on level 1. So we'll be there. I guess maybe we could go to the library and see if we can find anyone who's living in the world that can do that.
All right. That's a thing that could happen.
Or Maya, what about you're a monk, right?
Yes.
Would anybody in your order possibly
Monks can't cast it.
I'm not saying that, but would anybody in your order possibly be worldly enough to know?
Possibly.
Because that could be they could have traveled the world. I mean, monks are great for trying to get any information.
Yeah, lots of people in my order have been many places.
So maybe we should. I mean, we can try the library, but I doubt that's going to have anything on anybody that's still alive that can do it. Just a thought.
right. Well, once the drinking session is up, I suppose you guys would like to visit what's left of the library of Drake's Landing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
How much would it cost to purchase this building and run it as a library?
I mean, like the bar? Is that what you're talking about?
The
Or-
library.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say, like, you're already on the bar.
I could own the city, starting with the bar, and then
Bundo's
the
Landing.
library. Dude, I want this. Theoretically, how much would it cost to own this building and repair it? And then, like, I assume I would get to keep the books because they were in the building that I purchased. And then I could just, run it as a library.
All right, so let's see. I got your numbers for the tavern here somewhere. So given that this is probably a little more in depth, and it's kind of a historically significant part of Drake's Landing, you'd probably be looking at about 30,000 gold for the currently pretty rundown, partially destroyed building that is the library.
I'd like to pitch this to Blackwell
Okay.
at some point.
Okay.
But for now, we can go to the library and look.
All right.
We could potentially own this city, and he could stay there with a little palace and run it for me, and I would be like the puppet with the puppet master with the strings, and it would be beautiful. We're going places. Do we find anything in the library regarding like super famous druids and clerics?
All right. So let's see. As far as, I mean, just kind of in broad terms, right? Like there are not many people who are known to be able to do this thing.
Yeah.
So I think you read volumes upon volumes of books, and you come out of that experience with basically 3 things that could be leads. So the first one is an elven individual, and basically on the other side of the continent from where you are right now, on the eastern coast, clear on the other side of Unarith, which rumor has it has undergone a bit of a civil war recently. But this individual, a long tenured, basically like arch cleric of one of the primary elven gods, is said to have brought back 2 people from the dead a few hundred years ago. Now we are talking about elves.
That is fair.
He could still be alive, but he'd be quite old.
I mean, it's not nothing.
It's not nothing.
Okay, I keep it in mind. Do I find any other people?
You said we had 2 more?
2 more, yeah. Well, one other person, or one other, I guess, group of people, and some alternatives.
Okay.
So the next potentially viable option is, well, for starters, it's across an ocean from where you are currently.
Not a problem. I can swim.
Okay. It is located on the continent of Skildur. In kind of the central plains of that continent, sort of a tundra kind of area. There is a tribe of druids and, best you can tell, barbarian types that have kind of amalgamated into one that are said to live over in that part of the world. And their leader, as mentioned in a somewhat recent book, like probably written within the last 10 years, is said to have discovered the secrets of this kind of magic in order to bring back her deceased mate after he was slain in battle.
Okay.
On the other hand, you do, of course, find a long list of ways that one might secure a wish spell. Just knowing that that's your other alternative.
Which are?
There are a number of creatures that might be able to grant such a thing. Many of them fiendish or...
Not a problem.
Kind of deals
or-
with the devil, kind of thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of deals with the devil kind of things. There are
No, I don't
genie
know.
type entities.
What?
Genie type entities.
Okay.
But again, those are all hard to come by, and those who have power over such things are often less than savory individuals.
Unless we kill them, doing the world a favor, and then securing control over the creature ourselves.
It's possible.
I look at Bungdo like he's fucking nuts.
I mean, it's an option.
I look over at Maya. Is he always like this?
I just nod.
I can see why. I can see how Togar got killed.
What? It is not my fault.
Anyway,
I just shrug. I wasn't conscious.
The disapproving wife. You really need to stop hanging out with those people.
Bangda just kind of sighs and continues reading.
They're no good for you.
I have never said that to you.
You say that now in front of them.
In front of the exact same people I said it about. Yeah.
yes, we
Yep.
are the worst. I'm okay with this.
Yeah, so those are, in broad terms, the options.
Well, obviously, I don't think I'm of much use against or making a deal with one of these fiends. So for me, the wish spell's out. So, who do we want to go see?
I am also against the wish spell.
Choose your own adventure, guys. Elven Woods or Skilder, which is kind of borderline Skyrim-ish.
I mean, Bungdo has the ashes, so he could just go get the wish spell.
If Bungdo wants to fly solo on this shit.
No, he can go to Skildor or the Elfland.
I think you might enjoy the Elfland.
I really think I would enjoy the Elfland.
I think maybe for the sake of myself and Maya and our lives, we should go to the Elfland.
Alright, which spell it is?
You hear just an audible face hitting the hand.
Bungdo just kind of giggles childishly and then asks about or looks for information regarding Elfland.
Okay, so
I'll aid him in that.
yeah, at this point you kind of move from
Hold up just a second, my friend's calling.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I also do need the character sheet.
Yeah, we will get there.
Okay.
I scrambled to get that put together today because I realized like, oh yeah, a session got canceled last week and I never did that.
It's all good.
Yeah. No, you got all your fucking spells though. I promise. There's a shit ton of them. Fucking clerics.
That's fine. Hopefully I'm doing her justice already.
Yeah. I think it's pretty much spot on.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a tough chick.
Yeah. That's what I remember her as being, so. Oh, somebody also has my iGem.
Ah, yes.
Oh my fucking god. I should have used that.
Yep.
The moment when. Oh well.
Yep.
I mean, it was just a D4. I don't think my whatever I rolled would have. The D4 would have helped.
Yeah, I forget what your roll was, but
It was pretty garbage. Because it was a deck save, and like even a garbage roll for me is like a 10 or 12 or something.
that would have been close then.
I forgot it.
It's all good. Well, I mean, this is definitely going to lead to something interesting. What? We'll see. But hey, you guys might be going back to Unareth.
Yeah. Okay.
Who knows? Maybe there'll be some familiar faces.
Maybe.
Dang it, Eric.
What?
Got a song stuck in my head.
How did I do that?
Familiar faces.
Alright, I am back. I apologize.
I literally just sang 2 words together.
Turtles?
The word was not potatoes.
Oh, it's just silly.
All right. So yeah, as you kind of begin reading up a little bit on Unareth, you pretty quickly make your way through a lot of historical texts and learning about the government and the civil stuff and whatever. Basically, it's a long time bastion of elven civilization. Basically, the center of it on the entire planet. And one of the longest standing civilizations in known history. The capital is pretty far across from where you are toward the eastern coast, but not all the way there. And the last known location of this individual that you'd be seeking is a little bit even beyond that. As far as other things that might be worth knowing that I think Bungdo would find out about, there's a not so unfamiliar kind of incident going on right now. Civil war among elven factions.
Of course.
This one, not so much a race war as the one that the gnomes had found themselves wrapped up in, as one about basically elves' place in the world, whether they should be isolationists and let all the other races fend for themselves, or they should become a little more globally minded. There's also some underlying classist power struggle kind of stuff going on as well.
Standard.
Yeah. And so if you were to make your way through Unarith at a given time, there's a possibility you'd run into, full-fledged war in some places.
Dope.
For better or worse, I suppose.
I mean, Bungo likes war, so it's
Yeah.
not a problem there.
Okay. Yeah, as far as other things, I mean, it's a heavily wooded area.
Are there forest gnomes in the forest?
Might be a few here and there. It's not like
we have to go.
Okay.
Don't even let him finish his statement.
Yep.
Any forest gnome has to be exterminated.
All right. But yeah, so I think that's kind of a good overview of what you're walking into if you decide to pursue this path.
Well, I think it's decided he wants to. we're going to
Bungo's
the-
down. Anyone else?
Yeah, we're going to the elves.
Sounds good.
Oh.
Okay. So is there anything that you guys want to accomplish before you strike out across the continent to this place?
I gotta use the restroom first.
I'd like a good night's sleep.
Yeah, we can definitely like
Oh yeah, you
think
do
about
look
it
a little.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
We can definitely think about it in the next day.
All right. I suppose. You guys got
Bungo
a
would
bed
like
for
to
me?
try and sell his rope on the way.
You guys got
Okay.
a bed? You guys got a bed
Space.
for me?
There are some
Yeah.
rundown
Yeah.
beds around, yeah.
That's fine. I'm used to sleeping on rocks anyway, so just go lay down on a bed.
I feel like this would be Togar's bed if he was here.
All right.
That's not like incredibly morbid or anything.
It's sentimental.
Mm-hmm.
Then why'd you show it to me? I'll go to the next one.
I don't think it's morbid, it's sentimental.
Well, I think it's morbid.
Regardless, you can have Lilith too.
That's fine. I'll sleep in Lilith. I didn't even know her.
It's true.
It's okay to sleep in a dead person's bed
Yeah, but
that they're not using, as long as you don't know that.
we're gonna resurrect Togar. Lilith's not coming back. In fact, I don't even know. Other than you telling me Lilith died, I don't know shit about Lilith.
It's true.
So I know Togar, and yeah, Lilith is just some nobody to me. So yeah, I'll take Lilith's bed.
Okay. Yeah. So everybody gets a nice long rest in and all that stuff. Let me. While I'm thinking about it.
I got a long rest. It's
Hey!
been days.
It has
Hey!
been about 4 days.
Yeah.
I also don't have any exhaustion, which is a weird situation.
Well, you were in a coma for 3 of those.
Yeah, but I still did not take a long rest.
But you were unconscious, so it's
You took like the second longest rest.
yeah.
But it doesn't count as a long rest. Because I was too busy trying not to die to actually fix myself. It's
Yeah.
like when you like have a cold, but at the beginning of it where you can't catch up with the cold, so you're just getting sicker instead of getting better.
Mm-hmm. All right. So Taylor, since we are now getting to long rest, prepping for an adventure, all that kind of stuff, have a character sheet,
Hey, character sheets.
and you can go to that spell page, and you can activate. Well, okay, let me give you the first round. So first of all, let's see. Let me uncheck all the stuff that's not just there by default. So all the ones that are currently filled in,
Mhm.
those are the things that you get from being a life domain cleric.
All right.
Ooh.
You can pick 12 more spells from that list.
All right. Just any of them?
Yeah, any of them.
Okay.
Did Togar's gun blow up?
It was magical.
It was a magical item, so no.
So it and the ammo bag did not.
Oh, that's beautiful. Does
And-
Bungdo know how to use it?
I don't think nobody had ever asked Togar how to use it.
Yeah, you could experiment with it if you want.
Oh no. He will. He wants to. I know he wants to.
I really want to.
Don't worry, Eric. Taylor got a different song stuck in my head.
I'm
Is
surprised you don't.
Is it plausible that
No.
Bungdo saw it get shot, so he can assume where not to point?
I think at least that much is safe to assume. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen me use it, so you know which
Okay.
end is the dangerous end.
Perfect.
He doesn't like stick his head in there or anything.
The fun end.
Yes. You don't know if
Okay.
it's loaded, which I believe it is not, because I don't think I reloaded it.
I will experiment with it.
Yes, but I don't believe it is loaded as of right now.
Well, that's what science is for.
Well, no, I'm just explaining to Eric so that if you happen to accidentally pull the trigger or something, I don't believe you'll blow your head off.
Well, I would be putting it in my head.
But you won't shoot somebody.
Well, I'm not going to point it at someone else. Well,
Mm.
probably not.
All right. So, but anyway, yes, I just wanted to let you know that it's probably not.
Okay.
Oh my lord, there's so many spells.
Right? Even just dragging and dropping those was ass.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Welcome to Casters.
If you're waiting for me, I'm gonna have to look through some of this stuff.
Yeah, no, that's totally fine.
I have to go to the bathroom, so that gives you an extra 3 minutes.
Exactly 3 minutes.
Okay.
Yep.
Not
more.
a second more.
No less.
Jeez. There's a
Right?
lot here. I'll
I
get
bet
Kira
it's
one.
hard to even spell all of them.
She will be taking longer because the dog has an itch.
Ah, okay. Just gameplay wise, how is Tormilla? What is a life domain cleric, I guess?
Okay, let me give you the by the book answer here, since that's the thing I can do. What am I?
Yeah, well, yeah, like just kind of.
What am I? Okay, the life domain focuses on the vibrant, positive energy, one of the fundamental forces of the universe that sustains all life. Gods of life promote vitality and health through healing the sick and wounded, caring for those in need, and driving away the forces of death and undeath. Almost any non-evil deity can claim influence over this domain, particularly big long list of gods. And then you know what your life domain spells are, because they're the only ones that are out of alphabetical order spell sheet.
Okay. Gotcha.
But yeah, some cool little highlights. Your healing spells are more effective.
Okay, that was what I was thinking.
Yep.
Wasn't sure.
Whenever you use a spell of first level or higher to restore hit points to a creature, the creature gains additional hit points equal to 2 plus the spell's level.
Okay.
One of your channel divinities is Preserve Life, so you can use it to heal the badly
Stabilize.
injured. You present your holy symbol, evoke healing energy that can restore a number of hit points equal to 5 times your cleric level.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Choose any creatures within 30 feet of you and divide those hit points among them.
That's awesome.
However, the feature can restore a creature to no more than half of its hit point maximum, and you can't use it on an undead or a construct.
Okay.
You heal yourself when you heal others,
Ooh. Okay.
beginning at 6th level, which, you're 9th. So, healing spells you cast on others heal you as well. When you cast a spell of first level or higher that restores hit points to a creature other than you, you regain hit points equal to 2 plus the spell's level.
Okay, so essentially anybody I heal, and myself gains it 2 plus the spell's level.
Yep.
Okay.
And then your most recent domain perk is Divine Strike. 1 level ago, at 8th level, you gained the ability to infuse your weapon strikes with divine energy. Once on each of your turns, when you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can cause the attack to deal an extra 1d8 radiant damage to the target.
Ooh, so that's like what a paladin does.
Yeah, except it's just once per turn.
Ew.
Wait, I could just do it.
Every turn.
Wow. Okay. I just got a buff.
Lol.
That's awesome. All right. And then weapons. What are weapon and armor? Armor is like I got plate armor, right?
Yeah, I don't think I actually got a chance to drag that shit over. Let's see. So, let's see here. Yeah, I think you would have plate armor for sure.
All right.
And then, let's see. Before, I think she... Take a quick... Here, I think she had... She was rocking like a one-handed weapon, like a heavier one-handed
Like a
weapon.
warhammer or something, or like a one-handed hammer.
Yeah.
All right. And then I would assume I would have some money as well.
Yep. Let me find the thing for that.
Oh, okay.
Nope, you're
Okay. Um. Do.
1,000,000 gold.
Totally. Show me the thing that I want. Damn you. Why do things not show me what I want to see? Okay. Do. Okay. Go ahead and roll 45 d4.
What?
Wait, what? That didn't work.
Hold on, I can do it. I got macros and shit.
Yeah, I don't know the macro syntax for it. At first I was gonna start doing some coding language from work. And I was like, wait a second, no, that isn't gonna be right.
Okay, so I think this makes sense because you are kind of like, the boss man's daughter and stuff. So you've got a tidy little sum of 1,250 gold.
Alright.
It's mine now.
What, Bungo's just gonna steal from Tormilla?
No. Chance will.
Oh,
I'm keeping
alright.
my eye on him. He exudes trouble.
It's fair. Black cat, bad luck, and all that.
Well, that, and he's a shifty-eyed little bastard too. From the moment I've seen him, all he's doing is giving me shifty eyes all the time. So, I don't trust him. I don't know him, but I don't really trust him.
Okay. Did you have any other starting off with Tormilla questions?
No, I think I'm good. I mean,
Okay.
As I said, it's going to take me a while to look through all these spells.
Yeah, it's a shit ton of spells. I get that.
So I've picked a few out, and if I need any others, I can change every long rest, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. So, all right, yeah, I'll pick them out as I go. I'm not gonna cast anything until I'm done, though.
Okay. So yeah, how do you guys want to get across the continent to this distant part of Unareth?
We could build a boat.
Build a boat? You mean get a boat?
No, build a boat. And then we could use it for the merchant ship after.
So we could acquire a boat.
I mean, or build one. Yes, acquire. We could acquire a boat.
Boat get. Okay. Well.
Well, wait, we're crossing a land continent, right? Or are we crossing ocean or water?
So, I mean, there are multiple ways you could do this. You could go on foot across the continent. You could get a boat, go around the continent, and then kind of jog back in on land a little bit. Like a sizable amount, It'd still be a few days travel, possibly up to like a week and a half on foot.
So, for the sake of, I have this up on the stream now. I have the map. So we are in Drake's Landing,
Mm-hmm.
and we're looking to get to the forest to the east, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How did I take to get here?
Let's see. You probably, I don't think you would have had any business down in Strasza or anything, so you probably would have gone by land pretty much due west from Thogladar, and you could have gone up the coast, or you could have just booked passage once you got to a coastal area. It's kind of 6 of one, half dozen of the other at that point.
Yeah, the only reason I ask is just because whatever way I came, I will just suggest let's go that way. I just came that way and it's fine. So, you know, at least we know there's nothing along that path that will.
Yeah, I mean, if like I don't think she'd have any real like issues with. Well, actually, here's a valid point. She got marooned last time she hired a boat, so
So I would have went by foot. For
probably,
Sure.
yeah.
So yeah, no boat for me. Yeah, I'm keeping my feet on land after last time, so. So yeah, let's just walk through to Perrin, and then maybe, I don't really like Ramsgate. Too many people. Then I guess we can go through Helmsforth and cut straight across, so we can follow the same path I did, if you guys want.
That sounds reasonable.
Okay. So, I guess I will lead on towards, same path that I just walked.
Yeah. So down from Drake's Landing to Perrin, back to Helmfirth, where most of the group just was and had their wonderful little experience.
Yeah.
Okay. So, let's see here.
Well, to be honest, I don't know where they came from, so.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm almost wondering if, like, maybe we should have Brown here for the beginning of the next leg of the adventure.
Yeah.
You know?
That's fine.
Just, in case there's anything he wants to do or anything.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want him totally railroaded into this. I want him to have some RP options.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, I guess we could call it here, have a short session tonight, and push forward with the full group next time, now that we got the, getting out of the death room and some housekeeping stuff out of the way.
Yeah. All right. Next time on D&D.